Yeah, Jaron Ennis went in there and handled business this weekend. Got a lot of people still reacting to the knockout. He definitely caught some people off guard though. I don't think they was expecting him to go out there in the first round and knock this dude out like that. I think probably a week or two before that, I was like, yeah, he gonna knock him out. I knew it was gonna be early, but not that early. But I knew he was gonna stop him though. I definitely wasn't surprised by that one. Yeah, he was locked in on for this fight. Now the opponent, I don't know if the dude was top 10 though. Can't even lie. Probably was ranked top 10, but I don't know, man. He got caught with some bombs though. Anybody get hit like that, could be the same thing. But yeah, I just wanted the fight to go. It's only a minute, man. That's the only thing I was mad about. I'm like, dang, man, I wanted the fight at least go a couple rounds. Yeah, it didn't even make it a couple rounds. But so far though, definitely one of the hardest punches at 54 though. That's for sure. I think Boost is punching harder than he used to, and that's a good sign. Cause you know most guys they don't have that burst. They gotta go out there and throw a whole bunch of punches, and then had a referee jump in between. But yeah, when you just dropping a guy, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, he got some real power. I definitely noticed that. Anytime you jumping in like that, yeah, you got some real power. What's up, Petey? What's going on, man? He said he saw Lubin talking about he not impressed. Boost got served the easy live at home. Oh yeah, it was from the jump. We already knew it was gonna be an easy opponent. Um, um, once he went past that Tayez fight, I was like, oh yeah, anybody less than. So I had my mind set on the guy being trash. Too mad about it. Ain't on the fight or nothing. I just ain't had the energy for it. Like I just didn't. I still watched it. Easy lob though. Yeah, shout out to PD. What's going on, man? The only thing I have a problem with is it's a tune-up. I don't understand that. I'm confused. I thought the tune-up was so you can get adjusted to 54. But you know, if you go out there and blast the guy at 54, that's impressive too. So, but that wasn't necessarily a tune-up though. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what does he do. Get another tune-up after that? He said, I don't even think that Boost versus Virgil should be next. Virgil should get a title shot if he wins. Boost should fight for another belt or fight the mandate a belt next. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But Virgil, he's not gonna have a chin pushback. Man, they might not unify until next year or something like that. We might get Boost and Virgil end of next year. You know, they ain't too much thinking about the belts. I don't think. The way they moving right now, I don't think they're thinking about unifying. They're not thinking about unifying. They just like, man, we finna have a fight with Virgil and Lubin. Yeah, it's gonna. He said he should have fought Majima, but the man, Majima trying to come back. I think he gonna have a tune up or something. Uh, what was it? A bad right shoulder and a bad left knee. If you go back and peep that Virgil fight, that fight Virgil had with Majima, Majima was hurt pretty bad. Once he started getting hit, he started to turn up a little bit, but you could tell like he couldn't throw a punch with his right arm, his left leg. Yeah, I don't know why it's messing up. Yeah, it should be messing up. Yes. Yeah, it ain't on my end. They probably doing on their end. A YouTube thing. Uh, what was I saying? Yeah, but Majima, he was hurt against Virgil though. You go back and look at that first minute, he was already beat up going into that fight. You can kind of tell the way Majima was moving and he couldn't really throw a hard punch. I'm like, yeah, this dude is. He was hurt going into this fight. So yeah, if I was Boots, I would have jumped at the chance of getting Virgil like right now. Not because he got the stoppage, but I just think he would have got Vergil at the right time. Yeah, if they would have fought this weekend, he would have beat him. But you're giving this guy too much time to catch up. Because you know Vergil was out for a while. And his last two fights was close. It wasn't like that last fight was close too. But yeah, Majramov, he's gonna be out for a while. He might not come back till January. Yeah, he's gonna be out. He might come back and fight Bullchuck again or something like that. They might end up running that fight back again. But yeah, 54 moving slow. They gotta move that. They gotta get that weight class going. And they didn't really have anything 2 years ago. Now they got Benavidez and so you'll see undisputed at 75 a couple of times before you see it at 54. And they handed down mandatories now too. But if Keith Thurman goes out there and gets a upset against Fedor, that's gonna shake things up. That would definitely shake things up. Happen, I could see PBC trying to make Spence versus Thurman again. They saying Fedor's hurt, but man, yeah, they pushing a lot of fights back. Mix it up a lot. We got Xander. Hey, he can go ahead and run it with boots. He can run it with boots right now. I haven't heard anything about Xander Zayas having an opponent. But yeah, he can run it with boots right now. I don't know if they'll do that though. They might hold off on Xander and a boots matchup. We got to see going into that boots fight. No matter what, if they end up fighting, I'm hearing news about him moving up to 160. Hey, I'll say by this to be at 160. So you saw the update, December 6th card with Genevieve Lara as the co-main and full Co-main and Fulton Foster the co-main. The way around. I don't know, man. I'm leaning toward Laura in that fight, but he's older now. But I don't know. He's leaning toward Laura. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I had did a video on that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Under the Ropes versus Pitbull as the main event. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to see that fight. That's gonna be a good fight. Yeah, I'm waiting on that. I think Pitbull he gonna he gonna come out letting them hands go, man. It's gonna be a huge Mexican crowd too. He know he got a tough fight. He in good shape too. But yeah, that card gonna be loaded. It's gonna be December 6th. That's the only card that until the end of the year. That's the only man. That's crazy. That's the only card they got for the rest of the year. Dang, that's wild. Hey, that's the only fight they got for the rest of the year. I ain't know that. Yeah, them shutting down that Fundora Thurman card. That was huge. They only got one. They only got one fight coming on for the rest of the year in December. It's gonna be big though. Dang, only one fight. They tripping. That's crazy. Only one fight. I'm sitting here like, dang. You know, the last time that happened was when I can't even compare it to this though, because after that, before that, Crawford Spence fought, and then Fulton fought in a way, and then Charlo fought Canelo. But you know, after that, Andre had fought Benavidez. But man, they don't got nothing going on right now. Yeah, only one fight is crazy. That's why I was surprised they shut down the last one. Yeah, they done, man. They about to end up hanging it up soon. Yeah, they gotta be. But those some good fights though. Those some good fights, but they were supposed to fight in August. It's the third time Fulton fight getting pushed back. They were supposed to fight in August. Then every time Thurman trying to get in the ring, something happen. I mean, every time. Yeah, I would like to see Boots in the ring with a lot of these guys, but it's gonna be hard though. Once they start pushing back these fights like Thurman and Fedora, it's just gonna hold everything else up. Yeah, it's definitely gonna hold some things up. But you never know though. You got it's just yeah, it is gonna hold some stuff up though. Having guys fight months and months apart is see everybody would have fought at the same time. You would have Boost fight, then Fedora Thurman would have fought, then Vergil and Lubin. Now it's all shuffled all over the place. It's gonna hold some stuff up a little bit. Yeah, 54 gotta be the slowest weight class right now. Well, 35, I would say number one, but right behind that, 54. Yeah, that's why I said a while back, it would have been no reason for Crawford to be at 54 to do undisputed. Look, people still waiting around trying to make a fight happen. And they putting the pressure on Ennis, but it's enough belts and people around to make a fight happen now, with or without him. And it seems like they kind of waiting on him a little bit. Fighters don't want to mix it up without him because he just arrived at 54. What? A couple days ago. So yeah, PBC tripping. They definitely are. It's way too many dates right now for the zone. Yeah, for some reason I thought PBC had another fight this year. So I'm like, man, that fight with yeah, that'll be the only one. Yeah, that's wild. They gotta regroup. Yeah, it might be over with soon. It look like the zone's gonna be doing most of the fights next year, outside of Dana White. And a lot of PBC fighters are spread out too, because you got Antoine Russell still fighting on Netflix with the Tank Davis and Jay Paul. So yeah, guys still getting on fight cards, but yeah, they gotta see what's going on. But yeah, I think that Lubin and Boost fight would definitely happen though. I don't know when, but it'll happen. I just don't know if that's the most requested fight right now. Is that a fight everybody's looking for? Because some people they've seen enough at 54 where they'll rather him fight somebody else. I think some people will watch that without a belt. I would. It wouldn't matter to me. So yeah, it all depends. People would watch with or without a belt. That's how I see it. I know they putting the pressure on him as the youngest. Hey, it happens like this sometimes. He's fighting next. 54. But I do have a feeling that some guys will. Might see Boycha move up because that other fight he had, he came in at 160. But yeah, that's gonna hurt 154 though. Once you start to see guys move up, you're gonna be like, man, it's gonna be the same thing that happened at 140. But yeah, a lot of these guys can fight with or without the belts, man. I don't care if they have a big fight in the weight classes without the belt. If you can have Boost and Charlo fight right now, I will. But I don't know though. Promoters still got to put the fights together. So they still got to have a plan to put these matchups together. Because a lot of these weight classes are getting a little stale. Definitely getting around just fighting a lot of people. And other people are sitting back. I don't know if that's by design or from yeah, it's by design, but these guys have the choice whether to mix it. Just gotta listen to that. But I think they're building the fight up regardless between Vergil and Jaron Ennis. Yeah, I think for sure they building the fight up. Because they've been talking about the fight since what Boost was at 47 recently when he was at 47 and Vergil was at 54. So yeah, I don't know if guys are chasing belts or not, but when this fight happened, it's gonna be with or without a belt. Intern, whatever it is, they gonna make the fight happen from what I heard. Just gotta get past Lubin though. That Lubin fight, it's gonna be pretty tough. It's gonna be a very tough fight. Because you know some people they'll say, oh well he lost to Lubin. So we'll need to see him fight Boots. And they might not talk about that fight no more. You know, some people. It could be we've seen that happen recently. So over the next I'll say 4 weeks, this might be the only chance to actually talk about Boots versus Ortiz, because if he goes out there and gets upset, that fight's not gonna matter no more. Well, it's boxing, it'll eventually matter again, but for the next year, it's not gonna matter. And it's a high chance that he can lose. It's a very good chance. It's definitely the toughest opponent. Well, let's just say most battle tested opponent for sure, and best opponent that Ortiz has been in the ring with. And the most powerful puncher he's been in the ring with. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult. Not trying to say he's gonna go out there and lose, but from what I've seen, this Lubin fight definitely could catch him off guard. It could definitely catch him off guard. I would say that. He's catching Lubin this time last year. I probably lean toward Ortiz, but it's 50-50 at this point right now. Yeah, so he can ruin a lot of plans. They have the fight planned. If he goes out there and lose, will they still go through with the fight? As I said before, that last fight that Majramov, if you look at how Majramov looks in every other fight, then look at him in that first. Yeah, he was definitely broken up by the time. I noticed that early. So yeah, a lot of that stuff gonna play a factor when. And the fact that Lubin does a lot of stuff that Ortiz close in, inside, whatever. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be a very good fight. I think people definitely overlooking Lubin in this fight. But yeah, Ortiz, man, it's hard to pick against him, man. Be honest with you. I think I picked against him just the last time I think I picked against him. But I wanted to pick him last time. No, man. I definitely think he can pull it off though. But I don't know, man. Lupa's not an easy opponent. He not going there playing. He treating this like it's a Lupin definitely he's treating this like this the real deal. Get to these fights. He hasn't had any easy opponents. He's had some difficult opponents, man. This gave a lot of guys really beat him. You gotta 12 Ortiz will probably get the nod or whatever, but Lubin, he goes in there outboxes most guys. Just a couple times he end up getting stopped. And the last time he got stopped it wasn't because he ain't had no chin. So yeah, it's gonna be a difficult fight, man. I can see Ortiz really having a hard time in that fight. But yeah, man, they got to put some pressure on 54 though, man, to get these fights made. I don't think it was a lot of pressure to get a fight made when Terrence Crawford was there. You know, they were going around doing rematches and things anyways. When Ortiz and Boychuk fought, I think they were starting to move a little bit, but by the time that fight happened, we already knew that Terrence Crawford was gonna end up fighting Canelo anyways. But yeah, man, we'll see how 54 goes. You might see a guy jump ship at 54, try to get a chance at 160. Because you know once Undisputed gets made at 160, if Terrence Crawford has Undisputed and hangs it up, all those belts going to be available. So you might see a lot of guys just move up and say, you know what, they got a belt open in this section of body at 60. Oh, let me go up here and just get this belt. Don't be surprised. Let you know that right now. Definitely don't be surprised. The way they dragging their feet at 54, yeah, they waiting on 160. Some promoters probably thinking, hey, my guy just get more money moving up. If I move him up to 160. Yeah, it might have a bigger name at 54, but is it gonna equal a bigger payday? I don't know. This guy might move up. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that. Because we really don't know who's having trouble making 54 already. That's why in the end they might make it just easy for a guy like Ennis coming into 54. Fedora say he's already 54. Zayas is young, but yeah, who knows? Any day dude could just move up. I already been there, what, 4 years? I don't know. 2 more years at 54 be pushing it. Yeah, 2 more years be crazy. But I'm just ready to see Terrence Crawford mix it up at 60 though, man. Once they had this fight with Janovic and Laura, we'll see how that weight class goes, but I'm ready to see them mix it up in that weight class. To 60. They're acting like it's not a lot of decent, and not just Ennis, everybody. Like before Ennis even got there. Nobody's interested in fighting him. It's been a year since he fought. So that let me know everything I need to know right there. Like this dude ain't fought since October 19th, 2024. Yeah, I don't think 154 is gonna make any moves anytime soon. It's gonna be little small fights here and there. Well, not small fights. I ain't gonna say small. It's gonna be some good non pay per view level fights. He said they waited for trip. I don't know. Yeah, I've been hearing stuff about Triple G lately, but you know. But yeah, Triple G said he got one more fight coming back. He trying to fight one more time. We'll see about that. Maybe they're trying to line him up for something. You never know. You said they should look at how Crawford makes his moves and do that, fight the best. A lot of things, but I don't know. Gonna make these mandatories. Maybe they starting to catch on to something, but more now. Promoters playing the waiting game right now, which is smart. They just playing the waiting game. Everybody waiting to make the first move. That's why I gave what's up what that's why I gave Tim Zoo credit. I was like, hey, he finna jump out here and fight everybody. I was like, I hope everybody enjoy this because you ain't finna see this again. You're not finna see that again. He fought Bakaram. Everybody else said, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Yep. At 54. So they can run around and pick the belt up after he fights somebody. That's all that was. They waiting on Boots. To be honest with you, they should have already fought each other a couple of times before he showed up. Like I said, the guy Bach, they could fight him. They had Lubin lined up to fight him. Lubin, somebody said Lubin was ducking Baccarat mouth. That nobody wants to put the fight together. That was it. He told Lubin, hey, nobody want to put the fight together. I seen that. I said, oh, okay. He definitely wasn't ducking him. And he going to fight Ortiz. At least it seems like people think Ortiz is a weak opponent, so if he's good enough to fight everybody else, he can fight Lubin. That's definitely. But yeah, the people who don't want to put up the money for Baccarat to fight, he was supposed to fight Josh Kelly. Then I don't know what happened with that. Now it was a mandatory between Lubin and Baccarat. But these people ain't even trying to do perseverance. I'm like, all right, man. They dragging this fight on. It was supposed to happen earlier this year. But yeah, until that guy Baccarat actually get back in action, that weight class ain't moving. That's why I said the news of Fundora and Thurman getting pushed back, it make you not even want to pay attention to that weight class. Even though it's good fights at that weight class, it's like, come on, man. After a while, you might as well just start putting fights together. Forget the belts. It's taking too long. Everybody can't be undisputed. And it's definitely not easy to be undisputed. The way people be watching their next move and trying to make calculated decisions, everybody can't do it. That's gonna be the hard part. It's gonna be a lot of people want guys to move like Crawford. They just can't do it. It is what it is. Until they do, let me know. But until then, these guys ain't gonna move like Crawford, man. Nobody. Especially at 37, 38. That's not gonna happen. Yeah, I've been hearing stuff recently, like guys, they don't want to fight a lot of boxing now. They don't want to fight a lot of boxing. Like you got to push for activity somehow. And guys want to be active more. Yeah, some guys, but a lot of guys. I'll fight a couple times, but I'm like, boy, if you're a football player, boy, you getting cheated, boy. You gotta do that like 18 times a year but yeah, some guys want to box more, but not everybody. It's gonna be a lot of standards everybody ain't gonna be able to live up to. That's why I don't be hyping and see like, man, I ain't trying to hold nobody to no standard. When Adrian Broner was boxing, and everybody was like, man, he look like he gonna be the next Floyd. I was like, these folks. It wasn't that he was on that level. They was looking for a replacement. Get him. This the one. For a replacement. So right now, you looking for it's a lot of people looking for, oh, who's gonna be the next one after Crawford? Man, just let these dudes mix it up, then we'll figure it out. Like Crawford ain't had the luxury to be having a whole bunch of elite fighters who already got a name built up, just sitting around. I'm talking about these guys. All they gotta do is mix it up now. They got a Hall of Fame resume. You ain't gotta go out of your way and find people. All you gotta do is have like 5 or 6 good names on there. You in there. That easy. Most of these guys already got 20 something, 30 fights. 6 good names, you in there. It's gonna be hard, but It's definitely possible. I'm telling you. If you look at any weight class, guys can get like 5 or 6 names. And you got Ennis, 54, Baccaram, Zayas, Ortiz, Fedora, Thurman, Majamov, Lubin, Ramos, then a Boss guy, Brandon Adams, Boychuk. Then you still got Spence and Charlo, Tim Zoo. Um, you got a few names, man. You can get 6 names, 5 or 6 names, and make something happen with that. It wouldn't be that hard. Yeah, so some of these weight classes just need a little work, man. That's all I see. But they got to get active though. Most of those guys are like 20, and they're like 29, 30. I know Ortiz, yeah, between 27 and about 33. It's about the average. Yeah, you got some names up there though. They got to start mixing it up, man. It seems like a lot of these guys are just waiting. And I don't know what for. I wouldn't say Fedora's waiting, but yeah, I didn't see anybody trying to jump in a fight with Baccaram. It just doesn't make sense. It seems like a plan we don't know about. Because all of a sudden, before, when Terrence Crawford was at that weight class, we knew about every move. Now, all of a sudden, it's just quiet all of a sudden. Now, nobody knows their next move. I knew the focus was going to go on Jaron Ennis, but that still had nothing to do with why Baccaram ain't fought nobody in a year. That shows right there. They've been using certain guys to clean out divisions while other people just sit around and wait to collect a belt. You could have had somebody jump out there as soon as Terrence Crawford moved on. Hey, let me fight this guy. Let me fight that guy. So nobody else? What's going on? Nobody's openly calling out Baccaram? And the man has a belt. Man, you might as well give Charles Conwell a second try at a title. Ain't nobody else trying to mix it up. I put Conwell in there with Baccaram. Let him mix it up. Nobody else trying to fight this guy. I forgot you got Mendoza still around. And the funny part is, a lot of people want a rematch with Fedora. You got Lubin that want a rematch. Tim Zoo just had a rematch. Mendoza said he'll still knock him out. Yeah, you got a couple of guys that want to rematch Fundora. That lets you know everything you need to know. But yeah, Fundora been mixing it up, but yeah, it's just disappointing, man. When you see guys not want to fight. A guy like Baccarat. That's why I said, man, Tim Zoo was the only one that was gonna jump out there and fight him. I don't know if he a boogeyman, but they're making him look like one. Haven't fought in a year. Yeah, that's crazy. Then Tim Zoo went out there and got stopped early. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to bounce back from that one. Yeah, we gonna see what happens though. I think Luba gonna mix it up at that weight class, man. And if he gets that belt from Vergil Ortiz, I think either guy will still continue to fight people, but that's the only upset that could possibly happen right now at 54. Since Thurman Fedora is no longer happening. Yeah, I can definitely see that happening though. That's why that fight is gonna be big time. I was already looking towards that fight, especially once they had that press conference. Luba was talking about the picture they had with Ortiz. That picture they got is wild. Y'all seen that picture? The poster they had for the fight? Had him looking like the boogeyman. That's crazy. Yeah, this picture was wild. I seen this. I said, "Oh man, they got Lubin looking like he's terrified of Ortiz." Yeah, this is wild right here. Pull this picture up. Lubin said, "I don't know who made that picture, but where is it at?" It's to my dare to enter. Yeah, that's crazy. He got to use that as motivation. Yeah, you can't let him do you like that. They got him looking like he an amateur out there, like he's supposed to be scared. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a very good fight though. What's up, George Smith? What's going on? Shout out to George Smith. Yeah, look, Luba said that's crazy. They got me on this picture like that. And Ortiz has not had a knockout at 154 yet. No KOs at 54 yet. I don't know if that means anything. You know, he's fighting some tough opponents, so can't really gauge fights off of knockouts. But for him not to have a knockout at 54, will he try to press for one? You know, some of these guys, they'll go out there trying to force a knockout. Yeah, that poster's crazy though. They got him losing. They got him on there like he shook of Ortiz. He said something at the press conference like, I don't know who made this, but that was disrespectful. Yeah, everybody says it's a 50-50 fight though. But does Ortiz have a lot of pressure on him to get this win over Lubin? Because sometimes these guys get pressure like, hey, you know you got a big fight coming up. Yeah, this could hurt the chances of that Boost fight. Because if he loses though, Lubin, nobody's gonna talk about Boost in his fight again. So you know this can really go bad. This could really go bad. He has to make sure he shows up. That's why it's not good sometimes to set these fights up. George Smith said, if knocking a dude out in the first round, it's a showcase fight. Your 35th fight being a showcase fight is McGee vibes to me. Yeah, it's been like that for a minute too, man. To be honest with you, like I was saying earlier, a lot of these guys at 54, especially when Boost being at 54 now, they're not mixing it up, man, at all. Even with Jaron Ennis, you know, the thing about not just him and most guys too, but yeah, that 30, like you said though, why would you have a tune up at 54 for the guy just to last a minute? Now, if you can get a guy out of there in 1 minute, that's impressive. We'll definitely take that. But my thing about I've been thinking about is what was the point of a tune up to only last 1 minute? So does he need another tune up because it only lasted 1 minute and you didn't really get the? Because what I heard was he was going to 54 to, you know, get a feel for the weight class or whatever. George Smith said, imagine flying out, getting a hotel for 1 minute and 58 seconds of action. That is not entertaining to me. Bruh, you ain't never lied. I be saying that sometimes. I said the same thing, bruh. People be like, man, you don't understand. No, you don't understand. That's what I was thinking, bro. Like, you could tell the crowd was like, Oh man, I ain't even get into it yet. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like that guy wasn't top 10. That's the only thing that caught me off guard. I'm like, this guy's not top 10. Uh, a minute, a tune up for 1 minute doesn't really help anything. It was really a waste of time. And like you said, it was a showcase. It was definitely a showcase. But 1 minute, that don't help anything. I just didn't know the purpose of the whole tune up at this point. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to one up nobody. We just trying to. Okay, I don't want to sound ignorant right now, but I gotta ask this question because there been some dumb stuff going on lately. So was that supposed to be a message that Brian Norman got a knockout against Sasaki? So let me go out and get this guy in the first round. I don't want to be stupid like that, but I'm just saying. I know guys ain't going into no fight thinking about a boxer they ain't boxing. I don't want to be ignorant, but I hope that wasn't the purpose because, bro, that tune-up was supposed to be like 4 or 5 rounds of getting adjusted to the weight class. You know, because sometimes boxers can go out there and get a guy out of there earlier, but sometimes they drag the fight on. But I hope that weight class, I hope that weight class adjustment wasn't a 1 minute fight. Yeah, I didn't understand that. I just didn't hear anybody asking that question. That's like the perfect question to ask. Like, was it tune up for the weight to adjust, or was it to show how good you are at 54? That's the only thing. Because I don't know if that helps him going into a Lubin fight. Okay, you got a first round knockout against Lima, but then not a Lubin fight, my bad, Ortiz. But if Ortiz beats Lubin, he's gonna be more prepared for a fight. He might have a little more damage, but he's gonna be more prepared for 54 than somebody coming off a first round knockout. So I don't know, man. That's the only thing that kind of bothers me. I'm like, be honest with you. Boots getting the first round knockout, it definitely boosts your confidence about him going out there beating Ortiz. But is he more prepared going into that fight? Ah, not really. So yeah, that was my whole thinking. So since nobody's thinking about that, I mean, it is what it is, you know. He said you gotta know when to carry your opponent. Bud could have stopped Earl in the third or fourth round for real. Them people paid big money to see that fight. And Bud understood that Eddie playing games for real. Yeah, that much paying that for a first round knockout. Yeah, they don't know certain boxing fans, man. Dudes would be like, man, I'm gonna watch it from the house next time. But you know, a lot of cities don't have boxing fights like that, so you know, people gonna show up regardless. You know, people love boxing. But you can tell the crowd was kind of like, man, I was just getting into it. You can definitely tell. You could definitely tell. That will stop people from flying in to see other fights. I think you won't see another fight like that again, though. That's the only thing that last fight guaranteed. Like the next fight, it won't be an opponent like that. Unless it's that boss guy. If it's not him, probably not gonna see an opponent like that again. You can't do it, especially at 54 right now. That's why Xander Zayas having a hard time. He tried to put Centillion out there recently. I heard Centillion was a option, but I don't know, man. You don't want to try to one up somebody at a lower weight class, so they stepped away from that fight. But yeah, he could have been stopped that guy. It's a few guys Bud could have stopped early. Like Amir Khan, I was watching that fight. Amir Khan was scared, like in the third or fourth round. I was like, oh, he could have stopped Amir Khan early. Yeah, so guys get carried most of the time, especially if it's a tune-up. If it's a tune-up, everybody going into it knows it's a tune-up. You're supposed to carry the guy. Then Lima is a big, strong guy. But you don't play with no boxer, though. You know, anybody can get knocked out, so you don't go in there and just play with a guy. But I'm just being honest, though. That fight right there, I thought he was going to go out there and just, get a feel for the weight class. But I don't know. You fight 1 minute, you go into an Ortiz fight. May the best man win. That's how it's going to go. Yeah, I just don't understand. Like he said, Eddie playing games for real. Yeah, he's known for stuff like that, bro. Those kind of opponents. He usually picks some good opponents. I've heard Eddie say recently when somebody was like, "Hey, you picking opponents that are getting people beat," and he was like, "Oh, if the guy can't beat him, then he's not good enough." So why you not keeping that same theory in this situation? That guy Lehman wasn't no top 10 though, man. That's why I said them rankings. I don't be looking at them rankings like that. Sometimes you gotta eyeball that stuff. Them rankings, they sound cool, but that dude Lehman wasn't top 10. I don't know what he did to become top 10, but it wasn't enough. Yeah, they gotta quit making guys top 10 who ain't did nothing for real. Because now everybody's gonna try to knock him out in the first round. I hope he knows that. Everybody who gets in the ring with Lima from now on, they're gonna be like, hey, that's that guy that Jaron Ennis got in the first round. I'm finna try to get him. If Ennis can get him in the first round, what? Let me see how I can do. So now everybody know what to do. First 30 seconds, go after him. Try to knock him out. He gonna have to retire. I ain't saying his career over, but trust me, people gonna try to one up Jaron Ennis. So this guy Lima definitely gonna have possibly another first round knockout in his career. That's gonna possibly happen on his end, or they're gonna try to at least do it early. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, they don't know the point of tune-ups no more though. He said, "Think about it. A tune-up is a low-profile name. Which belt holder has the lowest profile after the first tune-up? WBA coming to Philly for another lackluster the song card. Hopefully after that is up. Yeah, they gonna come to the WBA. But the only good thing about that fight is that Charlo's the champion in recess. But the thing that hurts that is they're mixing in with the Ortiz stuff with that situation. So the way things look now, I can see Charlo fighting that guy soon. That Abbas guy, I can see that possibly happening soon. Cause Charlo, he's not getting younger, and we coming up on 2026. He's like around. I think him and Canelo's birthday is around the same age. I mean, around the same time. They're the same age. So birthday is around the same time. They're the same age. So Charlo being champion in recess, they can't have him sitting around for a long time without fighting. Yeah, PBC gotta get something going, man. Yeah, I can see that Abbas to Philly though. I could definitely see that. He said Ortiz not fighting Lubin and Boots back to back. We'll get Boots and Baccarat before Ortiz. Yeah, I don't see Ortiz fighting Boots after that. I can see both of those guys having one more fight before that happens. That's why I said I don't know why with the Thurman and Fedora fight getting pushed back. Yeah, that don't help a lot. You probably see Ortiz and Fedora trying to mix it up by then. Because if Ortiz loses, we definitely not gonna hear about Ortiz and Boots no more. Especially for right now. If he don't come out of this fight with a win, it's gonna be a lot of things happening. If the fight is close between him and Lubin, would Golden Boy get nervous and try to make the fight with him and Boots? Who knows? There's a lot of things that can happen. They can get nervous because he almost lost and try to make the fight. That's if he gets the win and it's close. If it's controversial, he might have to make that Boots fight. So the pressure could be back on Ortiz, man. You know what I'm saying? Right now the pressure's on Boots, but let Ortiz go out there and get a decision that he ain't supposed to, and it looks funny. Yeah, they're definitely gonna call him out then. So yeah, it all depends on Ortiz how his next fight goes. That's how much pressure is gonna get put on him. If he goes out there and dominates, he's not gonna have any pressure on him. But yeah, right now it's definitely the pressure's on Boots. Because we have to realize that Stanionis was supposed to fight Ortiz first. And Boots ended up getting him, so yeah, they're not that far apart. They right there. But yeah, I just don't see these guys. They haven't really mixed it up yet. So seeing them fight a tough opponent back to back, we seen Ortiz do it recently, but then Oscar said, "I don't want to have another tough opponent for Ortiz." But he's fighting Lubin, so it's the person he got to fight. It's better than fighting Lima. You know, you got to admit that. It's definitely not gonna be a Lima type of fight. But yeah, Ortiz go out there and dominates though. It's not gonna be a lot of pressure on him at all. He has to look spectacular. I think Boots getting that first round knockout puts a lot of pressure on him. Even though it wasn't a high level opponent, he still did what he was supposed to. Yeah, Boots has done what he's supposed to the last 2 or 3 fights. So pressure definitely goes on Ortiz in this one. Is it the right thing? Probably not, because he's already been at 154. But when you're at that level, and a lot of people have said that Boots and Ortiz can defeat Terrence Crawford. So once you get those type of comparisons, people gonna start holding you to those standards. Whether you can do it or not, I don't know, but that's what's going on right now. They starting to realize it's not easy though. It's definitely not easy because they're in their prime doing this, and Terrence Crawford is older. He's like 38 right now. And these guys are 10 years younger. If Terrence Crawford had this opportunity at 27, 28, oh man, he'll be way past where he's at right now. But yeah, it's definitely levels to it's level to it. But I appreciate everybody coming through, man. I'm gonna be back on probably later on. Try to find some more news to talk about. But yeah, I appreciate George Smith and everybody coming through, chatting with me on the live.